So we're back having the good old debate, the good conversation. Once again, what's more important, offense or defense? Let's get into it. So, Gil's Arena, shout out to Gil and them, Kenyon, Rashad, Josiah, shout out to them boys, you feel me? They had a pretty interesting discussion about competitiveness to the game, right? And how Dylan Brooks competes and he plays both ends of the court. And competing on both ends of the court is better for the sport and it's a better draw to fans, man. Don't nobody want to go out there and see niggas just getting laid at the cup? Huh? Niggas playing deep drop and ain't contesting nothing. Niggas just stuck in zone because they can't guard out there on the perimeter. Let's get into the video. I ain't talking about a Pacific. I'm not talking about anybody, by the way.
Ultimately, he's coming out to compete, and it's personal, no matter who it is. And to Shad's point, if we had more people who in our league that approached it that way nightly, it'll be a better product. Man. That's why the NFL is a better product. Brooks? That's why the NFL is a better product, because those guys take it personal because their jobs is on the line and they're going out to compete each and every snap.
Each and every snap.
Each and every snap is meaningful. So if we took that each and every possession personal,
that shit is crazy.
Like Dylan Brooks does, offensively and defensively, it's just not one side of the ball. He's doing both sides of the ball. It'll be a better product if more guys took it that way. I ain't saying it's 100% in the NFL, but that number is high. Yeah. That guys take each and
I'm not going to lie. Let's start off saying this. It's, to me, a very nasty comparison because football is a mono physical, violent sport, right? Like, I'm not saying that obviously NBA players are very competitive, but to even try to gauge that between like a football game where the left tackle has to go against the D tackle, or if it's shotgun, go against the D. Like, this is hand-to-hand. This is combat. That just naturally is going to, motivate you to do some extra, put in a little extra oomph in the shit. Got to get a little bit more physical. Otherwise, this nigga is going to push you to the ground every play. He going to knock you upside your head every play. That's a little different from basketball. I've played football. I've played both. It's a different mindset playing football. Sorry, it just is. Way different mindset playing football. Doing any combat sport, to be honest with you. Let's continue.
Every possession personal. And yeah, you trying to get the best of me. And it's man shit at that point, right? I'm not going back down to deviate as a man first and foremost. I got pride, and I got to go look at myself in the mirror. Mm-hmm. So,
what was the pride last year?
What you talking about?
When he was in Houston.
He had it.
Did he? That's what I'm saying.
Why not? He don't deviate.
He take his L's.
Well, he don't deviate.
He take his L's.
Where's his interview from the last time we heard about him in Memphis? So you're talking about 2 years in Houston when LeBron played.
And just by the way, again, they're referencing Dylan Brooks right now.
Like I said, you want to talk
when
about
LeBron had 25, 13, and 9 last year against him, and he had 5, he walked out of the meeting. He didn't want to talk. See,
that's the pride he's talking about.
I don't know what he did.
LeBron has more points. So Gil, LeBron has more
25, 13, and 9.
LeBron has more points than everybody in the history of playing fucking basketball.
Last year.
Yes.
Last year.
Listen, LeBron has more points than anybody in the history of playing basketball. Mm-hmm. Yes, cool. That does not mean that Dylan Brooks don't show up to compete, bro. You're trying to take his competitive nature away because you're talking about fucking points.
I don't know about.
I don't want to give fuck points.
Hold on.
Wait. I don't give a fuck how many points a nigga had, man.
Wait. So if he tried to stop somebody, that man bust his ass.
Cool. It happened.
When we went to go do this, he was gone.
Cool.
Now when he has the
word.
Now when he outplays them, now he's there to talk.
Cool. And like I said, I don't agree with the answer. Did you hear what I said when I was making my statement about the answer?
I was talking Brooks was the front one.
So I think Kenyon is missing Gil's point right now. Gil is saying, hey, When Bron was busting your ass, you was skipping the interview. Now you finally put together a good little game against Bron and the Lakers, and now you in interviews talking about, he doesn't like when, what'd he say? What'd he say, Chad? LeBron likes when you bow down to him. I don't bow down to him. Where was that energy when Bron was getting 23 and 20 on your head? Where was that? Then you ain't want to say nothing. Then you're skipping out on the interview. That's what Gil talking about. So if Dylan Brooks so competitive or whatever Kenyon is saying, why he not keeping that same energy? Or maybe you can argue he is keeping that energy, right? If you're a very competitive person, when somebody gets the better of you, you ain't got shit to say. You can look at it that way. That may be fair in all actuality. Let's continue.
Did you hear my statement when I said about the antics?
I mean, everybody's saying it.
Yo, front runner.
Yeah.
Did you hear me when I said all the antics and all that shit I can do without? Did you hear me say that?
What is competing?
I'm talking about competing. Between the 94-50, nigga.
I'm gonna make you work for it. I'm gonna make you work for it.
Everybody competes. Hey, you two gentlemen that play football.
Competes.
Did your most competitive games, there's some games where you didn't have a deflection but you went out to compete, right? Gerald, was there a game where you didn't have a tackle or a sack, but your competitive drive was up to this motherfucker?
They ain't let you get nothing that night.
You went out
They ain't
there,
let you get nothing.
nigga might have had 150 yards.
2 touchdowns on you.
But you went out there, bitch, to compete though, right?
You can look in the mirror.
Change shit.
I don't have no. I'm saying like you're praising him for competing and celebrate when he's winning, but when he get his
I
ass
ain't
busted,
talking about celebrating or not celebrating. I'm talking about
When you get your ass
when
busted,
the
you
ball
still
go
competing.
up,
You still
you go out and play hard each and every possession.
Like Dylan Brooks to just be.
And what I've seen of Dylan Brooks,
I can tell y'all who not competing right now because we just got some breaking news. Breaking news, the Los Angeles Clippers have released point guard Chris Paul. I can tell you who's not competing. That horrendous bumbleclot of a franchise in the Los Angeles Clippers. That's who's not competing. I can tell y'all who's not doing a damn thing, the Los Angeles Clippers. I can tell y'all a player that's also disinterested over there because the weight is too much to carry. James Harden. Be on the lookout for James Harden trade request very soon. Mark this down now. It is December 3rd, 1:53 a.m. for me. We just finished watching the games. Make sure you click that description. Join us in the playback. Like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. But we just got finished watching the games. I can tell you right now, James Harden is ready to go. Last game we watched of the Clippers, James Harden is ready to go. Kawhi out there, just stat padding. Oh, as long as I get my 30, I'm good. That team is atrocious. That team sucks. They play with no heart. They play with no energy. They don't play to win. Ty Lue is not sparking any kind of fire up under them players. They are not competing. So shout out to this topic. Shout out to the breaking news. I hope Chris Paul can go somewhere and get the farewell tour he deserves because this is also his last year in the league. And it would have been an abomination if his last year was riding the pine for a boo-boo team like the Los Angeles Clippers. But let's continue with the video.
when the ball goes up,
It don't matter.
Memphis, Houston,
Anywhere he at.
the ball
Oregon
goes
too.
up,
Oregon
he plays
too.
hard. He's
He
going
play
to
hard.
compete.
What does that
Brother,
mean?
nigga, that's what the question was.
What does that mean?
So,
Dylan Brooks is like the-
it's a skill set.
Playing hard.
LeBron is
Everybody who guarded me was playing hard. I averaged 29. Everybody who's
That's
playing
about
Luka
you.
plays
Once
hard.
again, it's about you.
Everybody who's guarding Luka plays hard. How much does Luka average?
We're talking about competition, bro. We're talking about competition.
Ooh, I don't know what
We're talking about competition.
Ooh, I don't know what
We're talking about competition.
You didn't compete on the other side of the ball, either, nigga.
I'm confused on
So
what
you
we're
gave up
talking
29. Listen, you
hold
scored
on.
29.
Let me ask you a
How
question.
many did you give up?
Let me ask you.
How many did you give up?
Hold on.
You didn't compete on both sides of the
When
ball,
you're
so you
talking-
can't have this conversation with me.
So
You only played one side of the ball. I don't want to talk to you.
You gotta compete. We talking about
Dylan plays
competition.
defense, no
I want to
offense.
talk to you.
So Dylan plays defense, no offense.
So you just praised
So
him for being
what is the difference?
headed to a two-way player.
You just said
Which way
it.
is it?
Now.
So the nigga averaging 22 now. Is he offensive and defensive player or
on.
not? We're talking about the person that's playing
I hear
right
you.
now.
I hear you.
So you didn't play both sides of the ball, so you can't talk to me.
So defense make you a
Wait,
complete-
I don't
You
know.
can't.
When we have these conversations and people say to offensive players, hey, you didn't play on the defensive side of the ball, so whatever the case may be, you're not playing real basketball or whatnot. That logic never gets flipped on, hey, what about Tony Allen? What about Bruce Bowen? What about players like Jared Vanderbilt or they're not having to do much on offense besides stand in the corner. Draymond. And even Draymond was a little bit involved in offense, but I get what you're saying. Hell, Kenyon. Yeah, Gilbert Arenas was not, locking nobody up on defense. He had to generate 29 points for himself and then assist the ball to teammates and generate open looks for them. And to be quite frank with you, there aren't too many elite two-way seasons out of players who aren't bigs like that. I'm sorry. Your motor has to run at an extremely high rate to be elite on offense and elite on defense as a guard/wing. That takes a lot of energy, especially if you then wanted them to pick up the other team's best player. It's not a lot of years people are doing that for real. Kawhi 17 comes to mind. Kobe from 01 to 03. Bron from I'll say give Bron 09 to 14. Give Bron about 09 to 14. Yeah, it's not too many. And of course you have some of the MJ seasons, but shit, some of them MJ seasons you got Scotty picking up the best player for real. Not saying that Michael didn't do it at all, but I'm just saying it ain't too many of these seasons that exist for perimeter players. Bigs, is much easier for them to be elite defensively because if they're a great rim protector, you just stay around the basket, hover around the basket, put your arms up and stay vertical or block a shot. And being elite for a big offensively is also a lower threshold than for a guard/wing, in my opinion. So let's continue.
You want to talk about offense? We'll talk about offense. We're talking about the totality of the game, then we can talk. So you didn't play defense, so you can't talk to me about playing both sides of the ball.
Offense,
That's a different conversation. No, it ain't. We're talking about competing, bro. If you listen to my words instead of just I hear you talking.
Yes.
I said when a nigga compete on both sides of the ball. We talking about Dylan Brooks compete. Nigga. I did compete on both. Hold on. I did compete on both sides of the ball, dog. Part of my statement was when I originally said the nigga competes on both sides of the ball every time.
Every night, every time he plays, he steps up and he competes.
But every time, that's what the fuck I said.
We're not talking about everybody else.
I ain't talking about Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks. And I said if more niggas took that approach,
it would be a better product.
They don't compete then.
When I said when more niggas took that approach, you balled your face up.
So if more people
therefore, if more niggas took the approach on playing both sides of the ball, like Dylan Brooks, Anthony Edwards, most fucking other guys took that same approach, the league would be a much better product, nigga.
Now I will agree with him on this point, and I am in total agreement on this point. It would be a better product if Shea and Ant guarded each other more often in a game. It would be a better product if Jokic and Embiid, when they matched up, guarded each other for majority of the game. It just would. It would. We want to see the best players line up against each other, guard each other, and play against each other. Now, schematically, of course, you want to put your best defender on the other team's offensive player and yada, yada, yada. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. But Kenyon right now isn't arguing what makes sense. Well, actually, he's talking about what makes sense. Probably could be a little bit easier marketing these folks if they played against each other, matched up with one another. I remember growing up, you know what I'm saying? T-Mac and Kobe were guarding each other a lot. D-Wade was guarding Kobe a lot, and vice versa. Way more often than what we see now, right? Nowadays, you put your best offensive player on the weakest offensive player of the other team and have him work off ball or just help off a bad shooter. Again, schematically makes sense. Not questioning that. But Kenyon is arguing what makes a better product. And I do agree that these superstar matchups, head to head, guarding each other mano a mano, would make for a better product. I am in agreement with him. Let's get to it.
Like, so you didn't play both sides of the ball, so you can't talk to me about that.
Everybody in the NBA be like Dylan Brooks.
So on that note,
Yeah, go out and compete.
good place for us to wrap up today. Make sure you stick around for an all-new episode of the Arena Gridiron coming up next. They're going to talk about the Monday night game. Got a lot of other things to discuss.
You wanted to talk about points, Gilbert. I can give 2 fucks about how many points them niggas score. I don't give a fuck how many points niggas score, Gil. I can give 2 fucks. If you go out and compete, and you bust a nigga
I heard your point.
But you want to talk.
Here's my point.
They heard Dylan Brooks going
You've been talking for fucking 15 minutes. You've been talking for 15 minutes.
Go ahead. Go
You've been talking for 15 straight minutes.
Final point, Gil.
You're saying
Let him say his point.
he's a defensive player.
I said he competes.
That he competes on defense.
Both
He
sides of
has
the
no
ball.
offense. You're fine with that.
Both
But if
sides of
an
the ball.
offensive player that scores but plays no defense, you don't fuck with that.
I don't care.
They're both one-sided players,
I don't
but
know.
you're only praising one.
So if you listen.
So Kenyon's not understanding what Gil is saying, and again, Gil is right in this. Kenyon is sitting here saying, well, I don't care if he only scored 2 points. If he compete on defense, he competing. So Gil is like, okay, well, flip the logic. Motherfucker, if I got 30 and I ain't playing no defense, it's the same shit. If you playing defense, ain't giving us shit on offense. It's the same thing. Kenyon not grasping that concept right now. It's the same thing. You just like one over the other. That's fine. But, I mean, damn. You don't care if he don't got but 2 points? I don't care if I got 30 and don't play no defense then, nigga.
I'm competing on the offense.
So you listen to the words that
I'm
came out my
competing
mouth.
offensively.
I respect
I'm
that play
competing
both sides of the ball.
If I score 30 points a game
what that got
against
to
a
do with
defensive
anything?
player,
And?
I'm competing offensively.
One side of the ball.
Where are you going, Happy?
One side of the ball.
Puffing and motherfucking puffing.
You have cool.
They do that in football too.
Yeah.
They do that in football too.
Yeah, one side of the ball.
They do
Because
that.
I remember when
One side of the ball.
I remember when I averaged 34 against them, I was competing.
And then offense.
Against who?
34 a game against them, I was competing. I don't know
Against
what
who?
kind of defense I played.
Against who?
They were trying.
If they was competing
34
defensively,
against who?
they didn't do a good job.
Who you averaged 34 against?
Hey, man.
Who you averaged 34 against?
Skip.
I knew you
If
was
I
good,
average
bro.
40 points a game,
Against who?
if I average 40 points a game,
Against who?
I knew you was the one.
you hear me?
Against who?
If I average 40 points a game, did they was they competing defensively?
And we won.
They were trying. Skip
Is that part of competing, Gil?
I don't know.
Trying part of competing?
That's about the end of that video. I will say this to close it out. And again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let me know your thoughts about what I'm about to say below in the comment section. At the end of the day, in my opinion, the two-way players will forever be better than the one-way players on a general level. So I'm not saying like AD's better than Jokic, and because obviously, well, what degree of offensive player are you that can nullify the lacking in defensive ability and yada yada? I'm saying on a general sense. And to me, this should be common knowledge. I don't know why like two-way players don't get way more credit than to me what they're owed and they're deserved. The sport has two sides to it. This isn't football where you play one side and then you sub out and let the other defensive crew play defense. It's 5 people on the court for your team at one time. All 5 of those people have to compete or at least participate in your offense and defense. So guess what? To me, the best players of the sport are ones who contributed to both sides of the sport. This is now beginning to be a hot take. I don't know why. Because what is getting popularized is, well, if I can just hide my offensive player in a defensive scheme and nullify him being a bad defender, then it doesn't matter that he's a bad defender. Yes, it does if we're talking about individual players. It does. It does. It always has, It always will. It is a two-sided sport. Those are the facts. That is what it is. And if I have a guy that can contribute to my team in both directions, pause, if need be, then I'm going to say that player is better, again, in a general sense. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check that description. Hit every link that you see there. Follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and again, make sure you hit that playback link where we are streaming games every single night. And until next time, it's been real.